right, and this is our next fun fold card, our second fun fold card. It also says thank you, but you can use any sentiment there you want to that fits. This one has a belly band, which is just this piece that slides off, and then the card opens up like that. So that makes it a fun fold. But yeah, this little belly band, we're gonna make that, and then we'll make our card. So inside your kit, lots of pieces with this one. Don't be overwhelmed. We can get through it. So we have our envelope flap. That goes on there, and that can go any direction. Okay, we'll build that. Okay, glue that down. And just trim it off. Okay, so envelope done. We'll put that aside. Let's do our inside. Okay, so the inside piece is, you're actually going to put here. No, that's not intuitive, but this is actually the inside. So we are going to mount our gingham down, and then we'll put down this little embossed piece there. And this, let's see, I'll show you what I used. These are the Stitch So Sweetly dies that I used for these little panels. All right, those just mount down flat. We can do that part. And this can go either direction, doesn't matter. Same with your panel. It does have a front and a back though. Make sure you get your adhesive on the back part. I mean, it's fine either way, but it looks like a back. So make sure you adhere it front side up. Okay, now there's a little teapot and some cups. All you need is one cup. So the rest is just for you to do whatever with. So you're going to cut off one of the purple cups. This is just, you know, for whatever. You can use the back for something. You can cut out the cups for something else, but we don't need it. So you're gonna fussy cut these little one of the cups. I'm not gonna do it all for you, but you get the idea. Gonna fussy cut the little teapot. And I described how to do the inside on one of the other videos, so I'm not gonna even show you that. But I have some done, so we're just gonna skip ahead to our little teapot and cup. So we're gonna just glue those down. And you can do them like crooked, you can do them straight, however you want. You can overlap, whatever you like. This one's very Alice in Wonderland looking to me. I always think of Alice in Wonderland when I see these colors, and I just think it's cute. We could have a little Alice in Wonderland party. I did a little tea party with the stamp camp for the people that came here. It was a lot of fun. But you could do like a Mad Hatter party and make little invitations using these. That would be really cute. Okay, that's our inside. You can stamp something if you want to. We are gonna leave it. All right, that's that for the inside. So to build out your panels, we need this piece, the flowers go here. You've got a little extra space, but don't worry about that. You're not gonna see it really. So just make sure your edges are kind of uniform there. And then this piece goes here. Now I cut that wrong apparently. Let me just trim off a little bit. Okay, I'll make sure yours are not that way. Okay, that fits a little better. A little adhesive. And then, yeah, just center it so all your edges are uniform. And then your last little teacup panel goes here, like so. All right, and then that's our card base. That's done, we can set that aside. So now we're going to build our belly band. First, we're going to stamp, thank you, and then do a little ring of flowers. So we need Starry Sky. I'm just gonna set this stuff over here. Starry Sky with our thank you. And then the other cards don't use these two colors, just this card does. So if you don't have these two colors, you can use something else. But there's Fresh Freesia and Parakeet Party for our little floral base. And we also have Garden Green. Okay, so we're gonna use the flower stamp and this stamp we'll just use the very ends, so both of those colors. Okay, you will need some scratch paper, so we're going to stamp off on our edge a little bit. If you're using a piercing mat or something, but otherwise you may not need a scratch paper, depending on if you already have something down. All right, we're going to stamp our thank you in the middle. Okay, we're done with that color. And then I'm gonna do my greenery next. So I'm gonna start with the Parakeet Party. And like I said, we're just gonna do the very tip. So you don't even have to stamp your whole stamp. And we're just gonna get a little green on there. And it overlaps just a little. You don't wanna go too far in. It will be a little busy with your words, so like that. And then we're gonna clean our stamp. Stampin' Up sells these fancy stamp cleaners, yada yada, but I just use wet wipes. And actually, they're not really even wet wipes. They are the flushable, Cottonelle flushable wipes. I like these because they don't leave little fuzzies. So that's what I buy to clean my stamps with. They work great. I just throw them away. But if you want to buy this fancy stamp cleaners, and then have at it. Okay, so we're the same thing with our Garden Green. We're just kind of gonna go where we didn't go before, sort of in between. And it's a little hard to see, so you're just gonna have to kind of wing it a little bit. It's kind of hard to see where it's gonna go, but just the very tips are gonna show. So we've got our green, and that's cute just like that. You could just leave it. We're gonna add some flowers. This little stamp, because it's photopolymer, I can bend it and make it a little more round, which is what I'm going to do. You don't want to do that if you're going to use the die cuts, because it needs to be relaxed. So for die cutting, you want to just do that and put your stamp block on it. But for this, I can manipulate it, and I like that about these stamps. So I can make kind of just a more circular pattern. So when I stamp the flowers, it's going to be more on the edges. So I can kind of line it up and see, yep, that's good. Okay, so with my fresh freesia, I'm gonna do some little flowers. And not the whole flower, just kind of like the edges of it. Just a little overlap on our greens. And that's it. That's all you gotta do. And that's a cute little circle of happiness. Again, I keep leaving this pin out, sorry. I'll make sure that doesn't dry out. Okay, so that's our circle. And all the stamping is done. Gonna put these away. Make sure my hands are nice and clean. I do get dirty stamping. That's fine, it comes off. Okay, so this is going to mount on our little scalloped piece, just like that, okay? You can glue, you can use adhesives, whatever you got. Okay, so that's our little circle. You can set that aside. So to build this belly band, this is the right, this fresh freesia is the right dimensions and folds to go around your card, okay? But we're gonna add, actually we're gonna do it this way. So you want to end up with it, your folds on the inside, like the front, instead of the back, so they don't catch. Because this is going to be covered by your circle. So, I mean, it's, you know, it still might catch, but like, it's prettier that way. Trust me. Okay, so we're just going to add our, I mean, see, there's more teacups too. You may end up with some extra little pieces when we're done here. Not sure if I cut them all the right way for you to get extra teacups, but you might. Okay, so we're just gonna add a little adhesive and just line it up on the edge down the row. And where that ends, it will continue. Actually, if I trim it just a little, it will line up a little better. So I'm just gonna trim it a little bit. And then you can overlap it, but actually that lines up pretty well. Trim it a little more. Okay, now this is the perfectionist in me. Don't mind me. I'm just gonna trim off a tiny bit more. Now that lines up pretty well. May have cut too much off. That's okay. I need to move on. So we're gonna put that down. And then I probably didn't need to have adhesive all the way to the end, but you get the idea. You may end up with a couple of teacups you can use. If not, it's garbage. Okay, so now we've got that, and we just need to kind of reinforce our folds where they were. And that's gonna annoy me because I should have overlapped it a little. It's fine. Anyway, you can do you. But there's your belly band. We're going to adhere it together where it meets. I'm just going to use a little glue. Glue's the strongest thing once it dries, so glue's the best for this. So we're going to just line it up. Don't glue it together, but like glue the end, you know? And then this will have a little dimensional behind it. We don't want those to be on the back, so we're just going to put a little strip of dimensionals down the middle. And that way they won't overlap onto our card. They'll get covered up. And then this is the same part, remember? So we're just going to put that there. That's our belly band. It wouldn't fit around my belly, but maybe yours. Okay, so we have our card layered like this. Belly band goes on top. Oh, we forgot our bling. Gotta have some bling. And your little opal rounds. That's what you'll use here if you want to. You don't have to do this, but it adds a little bit of sparkle, and that's always fun. So just like 3. You always want to have an odd number of these type of thing. So we're going to do 3. You can go crazy and do 5 if you want. But we're going to do 3. So just kind of like that. And that is it. That's all we got to do. We've got our envelope. That's cute. And this, you would definitely need the non-machinable stamp if you're going to mail this. And that just makes it so the post office doesn't use a machine to run your card through it, and they'll do it by hand. But you pay a little extra to have that service, but that makes it so it doesn't get stuck in the machine and trashed and returned to you in a mess. So there you go.